5 after. But here I am. I had a wonderful discussion today. It's Mondays with Sandra, is what they're starting to call it. I call it mind shift, like think and grow rich, and rich is your abundance in life. But they said, how do you do it, Sandra? Really? Like, how do you do it? Those daily lives, I just love them. And I'm thinking, oh, good. And they keep coming back for the discussion as well. So I know that the discussions are rich. They're rich for me and obviously for everyone else as well. So they just love the talks. And what did we do today? We talked about all of those wonderful things, studying our inner worlds, particularly around assuming and then shifting our perspective from assuming and making that judgment to curiosity and perception. Oh, well, if we look at it this way or look at it that way, then we would get into that discussion, you see. So we worried and studied about all those wonderful things in our inner world, how we create our world, how we receive what has already happened, how we fear what has happened, might happen again in the future, and what's the chance of that? Very minimal, so why live there? So you see, we went from studying the inside and working on that to the outer world, and we got the world fixed too. By attending to our inner world, our outside world attended to by attending to our inner world. Got that? We did a lot around imagination, and there was a lovely little poem that finished with, some call it imagination, others call it God. Now, you know, and I know everybody can blow up and have a great argument and discussion. But you know, at the end of the day, we really do create heaven or hell here on earth. And half the time, but all of the time, yeah, whatever's happening in the world is just happening. That's just the fact of it. But what we do with it and react to it here, that then sends down that reaction inside, or that reaction inside, which says whether we're going to go through it with no blame, shame, guilt, or if we're just going to say, how do I fix that? What's the best way forward? Getting to reality and the present moment. I'm kind of running off here a little bit, aren't I? Now, Binta, in particular, as we were getting towards the end, she said, there's one more thing I want to say, Sandra, and I really want to thank you for these delicious conversations that you're guiding and those wonderful videos you're doing every day. I watch them every day, and I get to listen for 5 or 6 minutes, and I get little bits of pieces of wisdom and insight and something to think about and a reflection here and there. And I thought, oh, good, because really, I don't know how many of you are watching and listening, but not very many are actually commenting, and nobody's calling me because, oh, Sandra, I want to know more about that. This is when I would say, oh dear. And the other reason I do it just off the cuff as I do is to let you know that if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it here and just be me and make a mistake and fix it up and carry on, you can do the same. Well, what are you going to talk about today, Sandra? Asked Binta. And I said, I don't know, but it might be about you talking about the lives being useful. And here we are, you see. So it's less about me and my ego and more about being affirmed that when I'm putting this video together and sending it out every day, that people are really finding value in it. It affirms that I have wisdom that's useful. And with that affirming, my heart is satisfied. You see, if you make choices around what you do to make sure your heart is satisfied, you're going to live a much happier life as well. That's what was important. So thank you, Binta. Now I'm going to ask you, what is it that you do naturally and with flow? Because that's what she said. Sandra, you just do it. You're just so natural and you just go on and it just seems so easy for you. And you're just, grinning and sending off this energy. And, that's just me being me because I enjoy it. I like people. And others will say, but Sandra, you're just sitting there in front of a camera. There's not even any people there. But I know you're on the other side. Do you remember the romper room, I guess it was? And she always had that little, and I see Monique, and I see Suzanne, and I see, there's Mariana, and I see you, Binta. It was a romper room, I do believe. So I, in my mind, I see you out there, every one of you. And I'm just grateful that it brings you joy, because you're getting joy brings me joy. And that's what I'm asking for you to think about. What is it in your life that just brings you joy? You're going to do it no matter what, whether you're getting paid or you're not getting paid. You have to do it because that's who you are. What is that? That's the it. That's the magic that you're looking for. And then you move into action around that magic to polish it up and get it stronger. That's what you do. I hope I've made some sense. What else did I have written down? Yes, choosing where you want to live. Do you want to live in heaven or hell? Right here, day by day, because it's all in your choices and your mind, your imagination, getting it out, really looking at it. That's it for today. It's Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk, wishing you well with your reflections about how you're going to choose this evening. You can do it. Link.sandravox.ca, discovery, have a talk. You can do it. I can help.